Well, hello, everybody. I'm Huell. Hi, I'm Huell. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Huell. Hi, I'm Huell. Wait a minute. There's a helicopter coming here. Wait a minute. Oh, get out of here. What is that? Let's get it out of here. Look at this. I thought what was my feet. Look at this. Oh, my God. And there they are, Louie, up there. That is an amazing sight to see as we continue our search for California's gold.
Gold. Okay, welcome to episode
72.
72 of Huell's Gold. I'm Alan.
I'm Chris.
And
this is Mike.
Mike, what's going on?
Just chilling, hanging out.
Yeah, nice. Cool.
Yep, we got another guest. We like having these guests in on this show. I don't like hearing my own voice all the time, so I'm sure people get sick of our voices and want to hear some new blood.
A different perspective.
You can't make faces on a podcast. It doesn't work.
I'm not sure what you're insinuating about my perspective.
So, we know each other. We've known each other for a little bit.
We go way back.
We went skateboarding yesterday, huh?
Yeah.
When did you guys meet? What's the story on that?
Ooh.
Before you do this,
I know what happened.
Before you do it, wait. Let me put it in perspective. I've never met Mike before. We met literally like 45 minutes ago. We've known who each other were peripherally for years, I guess.
Decades.
You guys have had to brush shoulders at a
physically cross paths.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like at a Pizza Hut Taco Bell, one time you guys.
You've
had to turn.
I was getting Pizza Hut. You were getting Taco Bell.
Hey, you should put some sauce on that pizza. It's really good. Some flaming sauce. Yeah, but you two have known each other, and I don't know any of y'all's stories. That's the funniest thing.
Really?
This is.
You're
probably
out.
right.
I think Mama dropped me off at your house.
No.
Yeah.
But why would you?
I know I called her
drop
Mama.
you off?
Yeah. Did we meet at a skate night?
It must have been skate night. And
Canyon Hills put on.
Shredder can recognize Shredder.
Ultra Shredder. Yeah. Shred alike.
Is this really how it happened, though? I feel like
I got dropped off at your house.
At skate night.
What year are we talking?
We're talking
2001.
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably.
Post.
Was it the night? Was it
It was a
night
day
that
'cause
they
we were
set up my truck and then we put the kicker and everyone was trying to
No.
ollie over my truck?
It was you had the box, your box in front of your house, and then we got in your Dodge. What did you have, a Stratus?
But why would you be there? Is what I
Huh?
mean. We had to have met before.
I think
you
someone
got
knew
dropped
you,
off
and
at my house.
I think someone knew you. It doesn't matter. I was at your house. This is how I first met you. I was a kid.
Okay, you were
13 years old.
Yeah, you were a baby.
So
Your mom just dropped you off. I don't. How
my
old are
mom
you?
was cool, man.
Right now, I'm 35. At the
Okay,
time,
so
wasn't.
I thought we were the same age. Yeah, but the age difference, meaning if you were 13, you'd been.
Yeah, I was 16 or 17.
yeah, you could drive.
probably.
As I said, you had a purple
Yeah.
Dodge Stratus. Is
But
that
you're-
wrong?
That was my mom's.
That was your
But
mom's?
yeah, we drove that a lot.
That was very trusting of your mom to just dump you off at someone's house.
I feel like we had to have met at
feel
the.
like that
I feel
was-
like we met at the church event though, because I think that's why my mom.
Yes.
She would have. Anyways,
I feel like your mom always trusted me more than the rest of your friends.
that's
too.
very well. Yeah, you're trying to be responsible too. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, she was a good judge of character.
Yeah. So you took me to my first handrail that I board slid at Sandrini Elementary.
Sandrini's one where I almost broke my ankle. Later,
Yeah,
much
yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Much later.
Right.
Busting out a Smith grind.
I remember that.
Atlanta the day before.
You rolled your ankle real bad.
This is just going to be about skateboarding.
Yeah, this
if you
turned
don't-
into
if you
skating
don't-
gold
So
real
basically,
quick.
we went skating, and we were skating yesterday. But now
Yeah.
we're way older, and our jokes are so much worse. Just
Or
How are the
better.
tricks,
Or though? better.
No,
How
the
are the
tricks?
tricks?
Are much worse.
we could at least lie about that.
Much better.
For our age, they're pretty good.
Okay.
You say so.
They're relatively good.
For people who haven't skateboarded,
4-star on Skate
aggressively
Freak is
in
what you're
a
telling me.
decade.
I did a nollie flip first try.
It was beautiful.
So there you go. And it popped. It wasn't like a...
I got that frontside flip.
That's
I can
true?
try.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, sorry everyone.
Okay,
Who's not
so
interested in skateboarding.
Let's put this in perspective as to right now, as to why Mike is a guest today, because
Great
we're actually
question.
doing something real out of character. We're time traveling, which is kind of something we talk about wanting to do,
Yes, we're not. So for anyone who's following chronologically, which would be approximately one or two of you,
Hey,
we're gonna. Hey, but we appreciate it though. That's the thing.
and a couple of them have actually talked to us that like that's their kind of weekend routine. Which, sorry, we're late again. Whatever. Listening to the show in order and then watching the show in order too. And that was my dream. I thought no one would ever do that. But so if you do it, you're doing it right.
Okay,
Doing it and doing it well.
So how big of a risk is this for you guys to
For what?
step out of sequence?
Well, we've done between seasons. We've done road trip episodes and things like that. So it's not. Well, this is the first time we've done out of order for
California's Gold specifically, yeah.
So I'll say this: the reason. So Mike's, you're visiting from Nashville, and now now we're in Nashville West. Does it feel any different?
Exactly the same.
How long have you been sitting on that?
I just thought of it.
Yeah, right.
I'm serious. So actually, when I went to Nashville, we did the Grand Ole Opry. What was that? What was that?
I don't know what you're doing with
the
your
art.
hands.
The
I
art
don't
deal
know
we
what that
did.
would be.
It was
Screen printing.
No, letterpress. Letterpress. That's what we did. We did a letterpress tour.
No, that was that Hatch show.
Oh yeah, all the same. It's all the same to me. It was super cool though. Yeah, Hatch. That's right. I made the joke. No one laughed. Oh, where are you from? Nashville West. Like, oh.
I don't think they're into that over there.
Oh no, you ever heard of Buck Owens? No big deal. Just keep walking. So, Mike's visiting from Nashville, and he is what they call a quote geologist. At least he studied geology. Now you're doing.
Bit kind of retired.
Is it more fun?
Yeah.
What you're doing now? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and there's a specific episode that we obviously are pretty fond of because it is a Kern County episode. It's a Bakersfield episode. But it was so far down the line. Like, it would be years from now if we kept chronologically. You're in town. We have to do it.
I saw a 2006 shirt on there, and I was like, aren't we doing like late 90s?
Yeah, we're
96 right
96.
now.
So
Yeah.
we're
This
jumping
is a
10
big
years.
leap.
we're jumping a deck into the future. Decade.
And to
as
put
you
it in
say.
even funnier perspective, like last week, our episode number was what? Not ours, but the California's Gold was 708.
Yeah.
This episode, 9,012.
Okay.
Holy cow.
So
It's
we're,
not as like completely chronological number-wise, but
That's true. So we chose this episode because it has to do with rocks, and because Mike's from Bakersfield. Mm-hmm. So that's
And I used to be a geologist.
and he used to be a geologist.
And it was
A
the
fine
episode
one
that
at
I
that.
picked after you gave me two to choose from.
Yes, that's true. Limited the options there. So, yeah. So you're a rock studier.
I was.
No, you are.
I am.
You're a hobbyist now, right?
I'm a
Well, now you climb them.
hobby geologist.
Okay. Hobby geologist.
and luckily for us, I guess. Well, I'll ask that when we get into it. But there is a very pretty, I think, unique geological phenomenon going on in our area.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right.
Love it. Well, okay. Sorry. Let's
Before because we haven't even said what we're talking about. And
that's true.
I'm glad that we didn't, though. I'm glad that we didn't because California's Gold worked a little different 10 years down the line. Huell doesn't, there's not even a theme song on this. It's just him slamming it. He's standing in a field in his cargo pants. That's where we're living now. Mm-hmm. Cargo pants Huell days.
And his comfy button up.
Right? The days of the guns are maybe behind
The
us.
polo guns?
Yeah. Like his shirt sleeves are real loose these days. But he kind of these days he really liked to keep things a surprise. He liked to have this pop of excitement, even though the episode title is right. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're looking it up in the TV guide or the little pull-out TV guide of the newspaper.
Yeah, but if you just happened upon it, you would have been like, what's going
You're
on?
right. And I think that's how most people kind of got into this show.
I feel like back when I used to watch TV, you know, that would happen a lot.
Totally. But I want it, the clip I pulled kind of does it. It's a nice little surprise. So let's let Huell say it, and then we'll jump in, yeah?
Yep.
All right, here it goes.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Huell Hauser, and here we are on this absolutely beautiful morning in Kern County, about 15 miles east of Bakersfield. Now, at first glance, it looks like we're just kind of standing out here in the middle of this open area, not much going on. But if you know what you're looking for, all along these foothills here, all the way around, back to those hills off in the distance, if you know what you're looking for, they tell me you'll get pretty excited. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not excited yet. But in just a few minutes, I think we're all going to get excited, because what's in these hills is a true California treasure right here in Kern County. Okay, our adventure begins, and I got to tell you, I am excited just being here and looking at this. Now I know what it is. I'm getting excited about it. Bob, you're going to be our guide today. This is your land. Now tell everybody not where we are today, but where we would have been 15 million years ago if we had been standing here doing this interview.
Well, this was a large embayment which stretched all the way to San Francisco, Sacramento, and to the south, the San Lucia mountain range. And this was a body of water that covered this complete area.
A sea.
A sea.
A huge sea.
This was the Temblor Sea.
Okay, this clip is going on forever, and he's still not even saying what it is. So we got to just do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're at Shark Tooth Hill.
Yeah, okay,
I know.
that's true.
It means so much to us.
Well, I was going
around
to
here,
ask a question.
Okay.
Mother always referred to this as Sharktooth Mountain.
Yes.
You too?
Yeah, and Gretchen's dad, who grew up here, he's like in his 70s. He's always referred to it as Sharktooth Mountain.
Sharktooth Mountain.
I heard that said just today as well.
Okay.
I don't remember who said it, but someone did, yeah. So,
well, then I have another question. Okay,
Okay.
so we're split here. You've heard Sharktooth Hill for most of your life, right?
sure.
You've heard Mountain too, though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not weird to hear.
Sharktooth Hill is number one in my mind.
Okay.
Like, as far as
I don't
heard
think I'd
it.
ever heard that until today. In fact, if you look at my notes, look at Sharktooth Mountain, parentheses,
Parentheses Hill.
That's awesome. So I have another question.
Yeah.
Why isn't this called Shark Teeth Hill?
What?
Ugh.
The real question.
Getting into pluralization stuff now. That's where this show's going. Whew. So, Sharktooth Hill, yeah, versus Mountain. You know, same difference,
Right.
as they say.
Right.
But
I got a question.
Yeah.
So the other day, Gretchen and I took the boys out to Sharktooth Mountain.
Yeah.
And she did a little research on it. It was a little hard to figure out where exactly to go. So in the Hart Park
I've done that same
side,
stuff, yeah.
if you go into Hart Park, there's a spot that's supposedly Sharktooth Mountain, and there's a disc golf course, and all the signs say Sharktooth Mountain on them.
I think that's Sharktooth Disc Golf Course, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean all the signs for the disc golf course say that Sharktooth Mountain.
So when I looked it up, the actual point, it's... Okay.
But
Well,
this guy's quarry is across the river.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Ernst's quarry
Where did you go?
on the Hart Park side.
Oh, okay.
Just we
Like
like
where you can
hiked
hike
there.
up?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Put this all in perspective. Hart Park is a large, multi-acre park on kind of the outskirts of town, most famously known for stray
Peacocks?
cats and peacocks. Yeah,
It also used to have the world's largest swimming pool.
it did. That is true.
It was a Depression-era park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Public Works program. Yeah.
And right, like within sight is Sharktooth Mountain / Hill.
Which, in the soccer park.
Was that already built when you were like being a soccer star?
Oh, well, in the Star, I was definitely second
Bro.
string. Yeah.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah. Well, I played out there for 15 years.
Till you snapped your stem.
Woo. Yeah.
You had a stem snap?
I popped my cartilage. No, I popped a ligament in my knee.
You got a cadaver piece.
I
in you.
do.
Really?
That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite things about you. Is you get there's two for
Oh.
one deal.
Yeah.
You got a
Two for one,
twofer?
dude? I got a twofer.
You got a twofer?
Yeah.
No.
Like two people in one.
Adds to my personality.
Yeah. Your personality did change after that.
Yeah. It needed to, though.
What? Okay.
What
so
did they put in your leg?
Piece of bacon. What does it look like?
it was a cadaver's
Yeah, he showed it to me.
ligament. Here's
Yeah.
the thing, though. I don't know if I made this up, you made this up, or it's true. So let's set the record straight right now. This is totally off topic. Whatever.
Part of the course.
I always
15 minutes has
believed,
been off topic.
or I've even told people that the ligament in your knee now from
Yeah.
this cadaver
Yeah.
was from a prisoner. And then, of course, like even from there, I thought like, oh, this was like a death row prisoner who was killed, and then all of his body was used.
So all I know is that the person died.
I'd hope
Good.
so. This wasn't some
The bottom of the black
market
market.
thing.
Yeah. So I will set it straight, and
Yeah.
that is not true, but I like the story. I have no idea who it came from. I don't even know if you can
That's a
figure that
great
out.
story, though. I'm
I'm going to go with it.
Why
I would
would
just
I
keep
heard
it.
this? You must have been pulling my leg,
I think it came from Alan. It had to have. That sounds like a very Alan thing to do.
but it's not true.
That's not true.
Okay.
No. But
You don't know who it is.
Like I said, I like the story, though.
All right, well, take it for your own.
Okay.
That's the story now.
So
Speaking of stories, what's the story with old Bob? Bob
So-
Ernst. We've already met him in the clip.
here's one thing.
Okay.
I wanted to give him a nickname. Mm-hmm. And I do not care for this when referring to Bakersfield, but everyone that's not from here, or some people from here, you can get away with it if you're from
I
here.
already know what you're going to say.
Dude, Baco,
Yeah,
it's the equivalent of calling California Cali,
yeah.
which some people do that, and that's
I don't
cool.
like that.
Okay, some people do it, and that's fine.
I had
But
I had a problem with Frisco when I lived there. I didn't like
Frisco?
Frisco.
Frisco, yeah, that's kind of weird.
I didn't like it.
So we just referred to it as Bakersfield. Mm-hmm. But I think Baco Bob,
Baco Bob is good.
it's pretty like. I'm gonna call him Bakersfield Bob. I can't do it.
My older son thought that he looked a lot like Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. So okay. Imagine Stan Lee then, and then imagine Stone Cold E.T.
If you don't know what we're talking about, just search Stone Cold ET. I haven't thought about that so long. Okay. All right. We need to... That's too silly, man. But Bob was a real guy. A real Bakersfieldian guy.
So he was actually legendary
Yeah. He...
in the. Well, I was reading his obituary. Let's let the cat out.
Oh.
He was
And-
older in the. Come on, it was.
I thought maybe jumping forward 10 years we might.
Did you see
Get
when he
some-
Oh,
died,
I know,
though?
right? That
Yeah.
cut off with what?
Did you see when he died?
So, if your internet was up,
Yeah,
check
sorry.
it.
I can tell you. It was this year.
It was this year,
Not this
Oh, my
current year.
gosh.
This year of the show.
So
2007.
just soon after this.
Yeah.
That's super sad. Well,
The picture that they
see that,
use in the obituary, the online...
Is he wearing the same shirt?
no, it's from the show.
Whoa.
Like, you could tell it's from the show. He is wearing the same shirt because he's... well, it's zipped to the perfect...
I noticed that.
If you haven't... You got to go check our Instagram because, Alan always kills it with the screenshots. You'll see Bobby's...
I'll read
zipper
a,
shirt.
a bit from his obit, his obituary.
Okay.
So, through his hard work and dedication, Bob Ernst leaves for all a legacy of thousands of rare paleontological artifacts housed in museums around the world. Anyone fortunate enough to come in contact with Bob Ernst knew of his ardent passion for Kern County's paleontological record. But there was more to this man than Shark's Tooth Hill.
Does it
He was
say
like
what
a father.
else?
Yeah, he was a father.
Oh,
And,
okay.
I mean, in our context,
man.
not so much. It is really just about him owning
Yes.
Sharktooth Hill. And I think we heard that in the clip. And in the obituary, too, there was a little bit about his encyclopedic knowledge of Sharktooth Hill paleontology.
Yeah.
And in the clip, you already heard his voice. He's got a very peculiar way of talking. And we've already kind of poked fun at his look. It kind of makes it seem to me, or it made it seem to me like he was just blowing smoke, like he didn't really know what he was talking about. No,
He jumped on those every time he would pick up anything.
I know, but that's
right
what was
there.
kind of freaking me out. Because when I took those anthropology classes, those anthropology guys would be able to know like which side of a bone it was when it's just like the littlest little hunk.
Oh, that's a chunk of a C6 vertebrae.
Exactly, and
What?
like the distal something or other, and it's like, how do you? It blew my mind.
Well, here's
And I
one
guess
of the funny. the funny thing is,
He's that to whales.
underneath, like the name they could have given him.
I wanted to talk about this too.
They just referred to him as a landowner.
You know what it made me think of? It made me think of like feudal societies in Europe. How that's like like great title to have. Like, oh, he owns
Lord.
land.
Baron Ernst.
Oh man.
So here's
he
why.
ha-
Here's why he's. What's up?
I was just gonna say, does he have like a background, or did he just own this land and start discovering fossils and then dig into this stuff? Intended?
All I could find in the obituary was
He's
that he
from-
grew up in.
Ventura, right? No, he came. Did he come to Ventura? No, I'm mixing up a whole nother person.
Okay.
I can't check it.
He was born in like a Tuscadero or something, and grew up in Paso Robles.
a Tascadero or a Tuscadero?
See, you could get it. I mean,
Is it Paso Robles?
It's
Paso
El Paso de
Robles?
Robles.
Paso Robles.
also there's the San Luis Obispo calling it slow. Are you pro slow, anti slow?
It depends how you use it. I'm not totally for it. Like when people say they want to live that quote slow life, quote, I don't know. But then there's
That's such a big.
I'm split on that.
It
It doesn't fall very well on my ear. But
What about
I feel
there's like
Well, wait. Let me throw this at you because there was this cool donut spot in San Luis Obispo.
Slow-doco.
It
Oh, yeah.
is so well thought out.
yes,
It's just San Luis Obispo Donut Company.
yeah,
Slodoco.
Slodoco. It's like Slodoco, a game.
Sudoku. Man, we're so off topic this one. Sorry, folks, but
We always
you know.
go to you went to Surfside Donuts, right? In Pismo.
Yes.
Very cool. Okay, it's reminding me of donuts and the beach.
The kids were not impressed.
That's okay. Well, they're kids.
Kids are not impressed.
Your
very
kids you're
often.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the kids, like all kids.
Yeah, I wanted to specify you're not talking about like the kids these days. Being one of those guys.
I'm not that old.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Bob, Bakersfield Bob here.
Well, when he was explaining the area he owns here.
the Tim Blore Sea.
Yeah. The Temblor Sea, which
I wasn't sure how to pronounce that when I was reading about this, and then he said it, and I still
Well,
wasn't
the
sure.
brewery in town is just Timbler.
that's how people
That's how-
Tembler, say it real quick like that.
Tembler.
Yeah. We also
It just means like earthquake in Spanish, right?
I don't know.
Should I look
Sounds
it up?
like it. No, let's go with it.
Okay.
Tembler means
We're
earthquake
just
in
flying
Spanish.
real fast and loose this
So
this
one of the
week.
reasons why we brought Mike on is because he's specialized in mountains.
Yeah, I got my master's degree in mountains.
Mountains. Because you made a comment when we were on the Neat Houses episode talking about the cabin that the
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the reason I wanted you on.
Sycon.
Actually.
Yeah.
At Sycon.
Sycon.
The guy said, "Oh, on a clear day you can see the ocean."
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, I've
And
thought
then-
about it
and then
multiple
you-
times since
And
then.
you said, "Yeah, totally possible, right?"
How could you possibly, for one,
what I
how
told-
wide is the San Joaquin Valley?
It's pretty big. Yeah,
like
no
hundreds
doubt.
of miles?
Okay. Yeah.
At
Okay.
least like 100 or 2.
And then what's on the other side of the San Joaquin Valley?
Mountains.
Another mountain range.
Well, this is what I was telling Mike though. If you're on a mountain range taller than another mountain range because the Earth is flat, you can see. You can see over the top.
Go on.
Straight to the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
And that checks out. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no curvature. So that's why I wanted you on. See, this is
just so we could have that.
yeah
That
But then,
callback.
but then I realized that this is more paleontology,
Yeah.
but
You
the
can't
bones are stuck in the ground.
one-
So you know.
Yeah. Can't have one without the other.
So, okay, there you go. So now we talk about the Temblor Sea, which old Bob tells us was a big one, covered 2/3 of California.
Basically filled
Was-
the San Joaquin Valley,
Yeah.
give or take.
Yeah.
And what was he saying? Like as far as the inlets and outlets of the sea, where it was?
Was it San Francisco?
San
and then
Francisco and slow.
Slow. Oh, there you go.
It came out real slow
Legendary.
there. So this sea, as Bob and Huell were pontificating about it, was like 200 feet above where present day Sharktooth Hill Mountain is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just I can't visualize that. That's messing me up.
Yeah, it's big. Feet,
Well,
miles.
sea level. What do you mean? You can't visualize, you can't imagine it, or you can't understand how that could be?
No. I guess more imagined. Like, I get it geologically, but, like, I guess you got to realize how tall the Sierra Nevada really is and how much water could fit in there. Then it makes total sense.
Yeah.
But what about the mountain range you were talking about?
200 feet's like nothing, too.
Yeah.
You know?
What about the mountain range you were talking about that you can't see over before Alan got flatter?
Like the coastal range?
That's the one.
Yeah.
How, like, do you know?
I don't.
Just encyclopedic.
I'm not sure what your question's about to be, but the answer is no.
Just like, is it taller or shorter than the Sierra Nevada?
Oh, shorter.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Sierra Nevadas are older. So even at the time that sea was there, and I don't know anything about this, but those mountains are younger, so they would have been smaller. The coastal range would have been much smaller than the Sierra Nevadas, even back
Okay.
then.
Well, that's more than I knew, so that's why you're here.
Done. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, so soon after this, we get the Temblor Sea. I'm going to call it Temblor Sea. Huell finds his first bone.
First of many bones.
There's a many, yeah.
So many bones.
So he finds himself speaking of Bob's memory or knowledge of this
Encyclopedic knowledge.
Encyclopedic knowledge, he just whips out, what did he say? That's a partial whale rib. 15 million years old.
You can tell because they're spongy looking.
That's right.
So the first bone totally was a plant. Like,
No.
for
I
sure.
I
Dude,
thought the same thing.
Now, I think Huell probably thought, like, okay, Bob, we got to have at least one bone here. And Bob's thinking, bro, there's bones everywhere. Like, he's going to flip. And then he realizes, unless this is, like, super stage, and I don't...
You think it's,
I don't
think
even
it's
wanna
staged.
mentally
I don't
go
think it's
there.
staged. My Huell would never do this.
Not my Huell.
But
Maybe
it
it
really
was.
becomes
It was.
this kind of, like, kid in a candy store kind of thing where Huell's just finding bones left and right and freaking out and running around. And I've never been on an archaeological, paleontological dig whatsoever. I always believed that you ain't supposed to just be touching all the stuff. Like, there's science going on. Till Huell shows up.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, there's science going on right in the background.
That's true. Those, like, three people bent over, which it seems like, oh, this has got to be some staged thing, too. And then you go over, and there is a freaking whale skull in the matrix down there.
And you know what's cool? We were just at Pismo Coast Village at a friend's RV staying out there,
Oh, yeah.
and they've got a whale skull like out by the pool
Dang,
there.
that's
It looks
cool.
exactly like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that is apparently what a whale skull looks like.
Can confirm.
Pismo Coast Village is where my grandparents stayed when we would go to Pismo, and we were at the campground, Pismo North campground next door. And I would climb through these trees, these weird eucalyptus trees, to get to their place because they had free showers and an arcade.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
living the life.
the
awesome.
arcade's still there.
Well,
Also the showers.
I would hope so. Really, was there anything that Bob was saying of?
well, basically, he said this is a baleen whale, right? This
You
is-
know what that means, right?
Yeah. The gristly teeth. No, but right here. Okay, we're going to look at 801. Mm-hmm. So pay attention, guys, to 801. What's the first thing you see on our man's feet?
Ooh,
Whoa.
Did you miss those?
Bobby's Uggin.
Okay, we got Stanley Stungledy T. Uggan.
So I noticed that when he panned up, but I didn't notice the boots. I thought he was wearing tights for a second.
Totally, yeah.
Oh, so you thought he was like Robin Hood?
Yes, that is exactly what I thought.
Oh man.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so here's what I'm confused about. What is the temperature outside? Because I'm concerned about my man's feet.
That's what I was thinking too, but Bob died in about September-ish.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that just based on what we've gathered from Huell's like filming to air ratio, it was probably sometime maybe springtime.
Okay.
I think he says
beforehand.
March, actually. I think he says,
Does he?
yeah.
Man. I'm missing stuff
We
left.
missed
and
I
that
think
right.
he
one.
says
Yeah.
something like it's a cool March morning. Something like that.
It's like the fourth word he says. Okay, one of the stats that Bob does say after this is that he estimates there being 35 bones per square foot of land out here.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's a lot of bones.
Yeah, one
Which is-
bone.
if that's true-
5 bones.
If that's true, then they would definitely don't need to plant anything.
That's what
Yeah,
I was.
yeah.
That's why I don't think it was a plant.
Here's what I don't understand though. If this is that big of a deal, how come it's just this guy's quarry? Like, why doesn't like Cal State own this property? You know what I mean? So out in Tennessee, there's a place called the Gray Fossil Site, and there's just tons of fossils there. I think it was like a sinkhole, and tons of different animals would get stuck in it and die. So there's like this huge variety of fossils there,
Yeah.
and University of Tennessee like runs it basically. So if this is like,
Well, right here at about 10 minutes 4 seconds, Bob is telling Huell that the whole, what he calls the Temblor Mountains here, all of them have this many fossils everywhere.
for sure, I
It's
looked at the
just-
geologic map.
What?
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, just with the. I took a geography class. I know what I'm talking about. I failed it once, but I took it. I
you
retook
did
it.
just
Well,
say
I-
geography.
well,
so.
And
That, no, we
he
had
knows where
map
Borneo
maker,
is.
Borneo. Oh, dude, that's rare. We'll talk about that later. What was I saying?
I took an online geology class called Our Oceans, and all I know is that salt changes the freezing temperature. It doesn't make. Anyway, I was terrible in geology, so I'm glad Mike's
was
here.
terrible in
Michael
geography.
Saba's here.
He said Huell was, or Bob was saying that there is, if you were to get down far enough, and I guess because Bob was, this was a quarry of his, right?
Yeah,
That was
apparently.
yeah. That kind of lends me to believe that he got down to the fossil point, and that you could if you just took the time to do it, but he just happened upon it.
So that unit, that layer is basically like this flat pancake that extends out into these other hills, and there's stuff on top of it and below it.
Yeah.
And it's probably, there's just a little bit of overburden. He describes it as overburden.
That's a thing?
Yeah, it's like the more recent sediment that's been piled up on top
Okay.
of it.
Was
Makes
it, is
sense.
it like too heavy?
Oh, it's heavy.
Okay, so
So
Huell talks about the cut. Is that what you guys are referring to?
yeah, that like little road thing that led
Right.
into it.
Yeah.
Because it being a quarry must have just, I'm assuming it was haphazardly, he just did it.
Well, Bob does throw a date out there that people have been picking up fossils since
1890.
53. 90.
53. That was 1890.
No, 1853. And I was thinking, that's pretty early.
That's before Bakersfield, right?
Before Bakersfield. Yeah.
So-
the late 1860s was Bakersfield.
As Huell put it, that this must be an absolute treasure trove of bones.
Yes.
And it is. It was
is.
35 per square foot. At about, but we're almost at the point here because you talked about the cut, and when they walk into the cut, at what is it, like 11:35?
Yep.
11 minutes 35
Oh, yeah,
seconds.
I know where you're going with that.
You get the clearest, crispest shot of Huell's custom California's Gold watch.
So dope.
It is, and I've heard about this thing more in detail recently. We mentioned all things Huell, the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook page led by I don't know who, superfan that had pictures of the two watches, and he tweeted about it a couple months ago. How there was one watch was Huell's, and then he gave one to a friend or something, and Huell's is now on display at Chapman, so you can see his actual watch that went on all these adventures with him.
Aw.
That's
It is really, it's a cool watch, though.
Yeah. I guess it was made by like a pro watchmaker, so because like if you look at it, it looks like almost like a Mickey Mouse watch because it's so plain.
Yeah.
But I guess it's
It's fancy materials.
high dollar
You think it's still ticking?
trinketry. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I bet it is.
might need winding, but
So, speaking of the watch, Bob tells Huell in the same area that this is the largest assemblage of marine mammals in the world.
Did you catch his asterisk? Like, he pauses and then he's like, Middle Miocene.
To specify the
Well, he was
exact-
letting you go down to the footnote.
Paleontologists are about to jump out from behind the hills. Excuse me.
It's true.
Not quite correct.
So I was gonna let it go too.
But it's funny that that's what it's known for. These Middle Miocene marine mammals, most in the world. Why isn't it called Marine Mammal Hill, though? That's not what it's called.
You know why.
I do. And in fact, Huell, like, there are no real major segments in the show these days. It kind of just goes. But I got a clip to get us into the actual toothiness part.
All right.
The best we can do. Here, have a listen.
Well, it's one thing to get excited about an intact whale's skull like the one you found there, Bob, but it's another to get excited about what I'm holding in my hand, because this takes us into the shark tooth hill part of the story. Look what we found right here by the whale skull. These are honest-to-goodness shark teeth.
Actually, they're something that we find readily each and every day, and they're mako shark, which the predominant species here was mako, and we probably find I probably dig in a morning 200 of these teeth every day.
Well, the people of Bakersfield tell me they've been coming up here for generations, digging out these shark teeth.
Right. They are the glamour of Shark-Tooth Hill.
So the glamour of Shark-Tooth Hill.
The tooths.
The teeth.
Teethers.
Shark Teeth Hill. So Bob's just throwing out facts here, right? Like, mako sharks. This is the species we got. But it's the statistics that kind of blow my mind. He says he digs up 200 teeth a day.
With a backhoe?
That's just hands.
I don't know.
He's just scooping by hand only. That's insane. I mean, I know sharks lose a lot of teeth, and I know we're talking in many, many, many years here, but
Just like 500,000.
that's it. And it's crazy that we're able to tell that, because sharks are one of these species that have not changed much over time, that mako sharks, I guess they can tell from the teeth that they're still kind of sort of biologically the same as they are today, because we still got mako sharks.
How have I never heard of mako sharks?
I'm married to a shark freak, so... Yeah.
Alan, you ever heard of these?
Huh, I'm not married to him. No, I haven't. I've only heard of mako as a paint cars.
Uh-oh, better get mako, yeah.
Is Aaron rolling sharks? I didn't know that.
Jaws, I think, is her top 3 favorite movie, and then that has just led into liking sharks in general. It's just weird though, because she's always trying to make me not swim in the ocean because she thinks I'm going to get eaten by sharks. I figured she'd find it as
endearing.
Yeah, oh, you got bit by a shark. What was it like? Kind of a thing. But no,
Painful.
Yeah, I ain't scared of no shark. But what do you say? Mako sharks were as large as great white sharks are today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's big boys.
Yeah.
But not the biggest boys.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Have you guys seen the Meg?
No.
No. I mean, I've seen like a replica jaw like they have later.
No. The movie, the Meg.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I've only seen Sharknado, dude.
That's the one you went with. Not even Jaws, but just Sharknado. No, it's funny. I walked in. I don't remember where I was. I walked in last week. Erin's watching the Meg. Of course,
Like
it's a shark
without
movie,
you,
right? I think she just got sick of waiting for me. But it was only a couple minutes in. I ended up sitting through the whole rest of the thing. It's a big boy shark.
Mm-hmm. What was the?
It eats Dwight from The Office too.
Why did you? I haven't seen
Wow.
it.
Bro.
I haven't
Thanks.
seen it.
You're not gonna.
What about Deep Blue Sea?
I'm sure she has, not me.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen any shark movies.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I know. I've only seen like 2 of them.
But yeah, that's the whole point. Is there's megalodon teeth out here too. Obviously, they're not just digging those up every day. It seems to be rarer. But hey, what do you think Huell's going to do if he finds a tooth?
He's got one of his in his hand right now.
He's gonna yoink it.
Of course.
He's,
It's like
When he asked if he could take it.
of course he's gonna. He always asks people on camera, so they have to say yes.
on the spot.
Can I have this?
No, yeah.
Sure thing, buddy. I mean, really, you can't. If you go out there, which we'll talk about at the end, if you do one of these digs out here, you do get to keep the teeth.
Unless what you find is important.
Yeah. Or you can buy one of the 400,000 of them that people try and sell on eBay. But
I like that in the same day. He loves his tooth
yeah,
and doesn't much care for it.
right.
This
Yeah.
is the other one, so we'll get to that. But
Speaking of, like the tooth part is really kind of small while we're out here, and then we're heading into town, so we can just head there now. Yeah.
yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Boy, talk about moving. We have now come 15 miles and 15 million years in time. We are now in downtown Bakersfield, and we're getting ready to go in this wonderful museum to see where those shark teeth and whale bones have come to rest. This is their new home, the Buena Vista Museum of Natural History.
All right. So, as always, have you been there?
Buena Vista Museum?
Buena Vista Museum of Natural History in beautiful downtown Bakersfield.
Yes. Well, before it was painted, the fun colors.
Yes.
I think I have been there, but like a long, long time ago.
A long time ago, yeah. Let's see.
Would have gone today if they were open today.
Let's hear it.
have never been there.
Oh, come
You
on.
want to go?
It's like 3/4 of a mile from where we are right
I
now.
know.
You
I
could
just have
walk
never
there.
been. Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's one of those. It's so close and easy that why do that on an afternoon? Do something more difficult to attain. I don't even know what my excuse is. I'm just an idiot.
Well, I mean, I don't have many stories from it or anything. All I know is that I had a high school teacher.
Is that why you had this up
Yes.
when you got here?
Yes.
What's the story with this?
Okay, Mr. Hanley, David Hanley, best teacher I ever had. I'm sorry if I
Okay.
hurt my other teachers' feelings.
I don't think they're all listening to the show.
Right. That's very true.
Hey guys, they're all in those teachers on. Did you hear Alan's on a podcast now?
Alan Wheeler?
Hey, all listen.
There were some teachers that, we went out skateboarding and stuff. It was fun. But anyways, don't want to hurt their
That
feelings.
could have gone a different direction, but thankfully not.
You went skateboarding with your teachers?
Yes. It was super fun. I was on the morning show. Anyway, they put together a video, put on the morning show. So he actually he was a biology teacher,
Okay.
and every time you'd come into his class, he had 2 experiments for the day, and they were always super fun.
Like different ones every day?
Different ones every day.
Okay.
He's the best teacher.
Wow.
So
that's like 180 days of school. That's a lot.
You do the math.
Yeah.
Dude, he had some tests here and there, so let's say 175, 170. So anyways, like one of the experiments was this. You take acetone and you put styrofoam in it. Then it'll harden, and you can put it, if you put a balloon on your head, you can make a helmet. This makes sense. This will make sense in a minute, because he, as far as I knew, I didn't go to it, but he told the class that he was designing the megalodon mouth.
That we see in the show
Well,
here?
not that one, because that's actually like styrofoam. Yeah.
Plus they mentioned it's from the Smithsonian.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Coral.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say.
this one you could walk through. Like you walked through the mouth into the root.
Ooh.
So, and I just found a video of him, and he's wearing a megalodon tooth when he's on the news.
So he's a Meg freak.
He's awesome.
Okay.
He's cool.
So as we enter the museum here, it's full of museum weird freaky people, and there are local weird freaky people. They're of us. We know how this goes.
I think that's why we're so comfortable talking about them.
Yeah.
They're just our people.
Okay. So the first person we meet is Ben Nafus. Is that how you would say that name? Nafus?
Yeah. Let's go with
Okay. He's just a museum docent. He don't take no gruff from no one.
No, he was real quick to correct.
Immediately correcting Huell. Because Huell calls what is a sea lion skull a whale skull. I don't think so. What did he...
Not in Ben's house.
No. And as he's doing it, if you watch Ben, he's kind of like no nonsense, just looking at this thing. No, it's blah blah blah. It's this. And if you look at Huell, he's kind of like laughing at this. Okay.
So for anyone, just look at our Instagram. I have a perfect screenshot of this.
Is it Huell like kind of
Yes, like yeah.
When you see the picture, think of that noise.
No, what did he call it? I don't know the scientific term for it. Did he call it a Aladessa skull?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Which is like the giant sea lion, prehistoric.
And then he tells like kind of a story that he made up.
No, that's coming up.
Oh, it's coming up?
I think, yeah, because about
The
getting her head ripped off.
Tooth in the head? Oh, she's just swimming out there and... See that part?
Yeah, gets his head ripped off by a shark.
Like he saw it happen.
So I will say, though, that...
That's like 3/4 of biology, though. Like, oh, look at that scrape. Must have been murdered.
got a tooth stuck in the head.
Yeah.
So it looks like... I read his obituary. Did you read his obituary?
Oh, I didn't even think to ask about Ben. He seems so full of life.
He passed in 2K15, if I remember right.
Oh, man.
But...
Don't tell me Coral's gone too.
No. Coral's still around. She's still kicking.
We
haven't got to her yet.
Yeah, Coral's a person.
Yeah, she's still the glue holding the place together. So
the coral in the Great Barrier Reef is R.I.P., but that's different.
That's
Australian version of the show.
That's different. Yeah.
Anyway,
so let's see.
Benny boy,
him and his wife, Ben and Jean, they assist. So they're assisting with the excavation of fossils and collecting specimens and historical artifacts that are on display at CALM, which is the California
Living Museum down there by Hart Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
So pretty close to Shark's Tooth Hill or Shark's Tooth Mountain, whatever you want to call it. And Buena Vista Museum, where Ben and Jean were founding members and went on to assist in the development of the Buena Vista Museum paleontology project.
So Ben, he's listed as a docent here. This fool created the whole museum. Well,
Said he was a docent?
Yeah, that was his title on here.
I thought it said brocent.
No.
They're not doing anybody any favors with their titles.
No, landowner, docent.
Like the owner of Sharktooth Hill and the creator of the museum we're in, respectively.
Well, founding members, maybe they were like a core group.
There could have been like 600 of them, too. Who knows?
That's true. But I think there are something like 50 docents now for the museum. So
really?
One of many. Yeah.
Okay. Well, docentry is a thankless job, from what I hear.
It's very true. This is volunteer, and everyone's bored.
Bored and like asking these questions, and you don't have an answer. They're all
bored, like blue shirt guy here.
Oh man! So yeah, after we're in the museum itself, we go into like the back lab area, and that's where we really get our first good chunk of coral. She is
coral.
She is the executive director of the Buena Vista Museum, and she, at first, when we first met her in the museum proper, she seemed all nervous. And did you notice Huell put his hand on her shoulder, and then instantly you could just see this calm go over her? Now we can't shut her up in the lab. She's just going off.
Right.
Talking about the sea lion tooth that Blue Shirt's got.
Yeah, and that's on a Wendy's tray or something, right?
Dude, it is. So you got to watch. At 20 minutes exactly, we're looking at old Blue Shirt, and it's like they stole like the tray you take your food to the table at Wendy's.
Exactly
like Carl's Jr. or something.
And they got...
That's a hospital food tray.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Where'd that come from? You been in the hospital a lot?
No, I used to work at Memorial Hospital.
Oh, that's right.
Or I don't know what it's called now. But
same thing, but
Dignity.
No Diggity Health.
No.
I like the way you worked that.
It's funny.
I can't even say the other part.
Aaron and I were at Big Lots the other day, and we had to buy a big serving tray because the only tray that we have to really like serve anything on is one that she stole from Fresh Choice when she worked there when she was 16.
Borrowed.
Dang.
It's out of business now.
Oh, okay,
it doesn't
okay.
matter. Yeah, so it's up in our cupboard right now. This Fresh Choice tray,
That was awesome.
and we're gonna have some people over, and we don't want to look too.
Like you stole something
Yeah,
from Fresh
exactly.
Choice 10 years ago?
As we give them their drinks in those plastic cups that have the diamond cut pattern on the outside. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Every buffet ever has those cups. So, where were Blue Shirt. He's not having this, right?
No.
He's all about his job, but, I mean, he's very focused.
Science
but
men usually
He doesn't
are.
really seem to enjoy it or have any interest whatsoever.
Well, it was sort of one of these things where, what are you working on? I have no idea. It's sort of the fun parts of...
And he had like a little stack of teeth in the corner, and he wasn't going to talk about it. It took Coral to come over and coax Blue Shirt into talking about it
Also, doesn't that tooth look like a finger?
a little bit. Like
like a witch's finger or something.
Yes.
exactly like the witch's finger you'd have for a cheap witch costume when you're 3.
Yeah.
But what's worse to me is the complete nervousness of Lab Coat here.
Yes.
There's nothing more to say. Like, it's just so painfully
I'll
awkward.
just keep
Yeah.
staring at this fossil.
I mean, obviously, this lady is not really wanting to be in the public eye if she's sitting in the back of Buena Vista Museum scraping dirt
You know
off
what it reminds
bones.
me of? The DeWars grandma.
Totally.
Just chocolate-covered almonds, didn't want to be bothered, and Huell goes to interview her.
He won her over, though. But
He did, ultimately, yeah.
Also, when there's a point at about 21 minutes when Blue Shirt is pointing at some bones on a bigger piece of mandible, and he's pointing at it with this little red scraper, and I swear I thought it was a red vine. Like, he was just eating licorice, and he's just like, oh, shoot, I'm eating bone now.
Oh, yeah, what I did is I already drank a soda through it, so it's super hard.
I feel like Red Shirt and Lab Coat both didn't want to be there, and they got called in because they had to have somebody doing something in the back, and they both had something else that they
That
were
makes
supposed
sense.
to be doing.
I can see that.
Plus, they were the ones who were doing the science up on the hill before.
Were
I think,
they?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think this is the whole...
You're coming with us.
Yeah.
It's an off day for the museum.
After that, we're back in the museum itself again. That's when we get to see this big megalodon jaw up top. And
6 foot tall men can fit inside
Dude,
of
I
there.
was like,
Yeah.
megalodang.
My son was like, that's 36 feet tall.
that's
I
quick
think
math,
they
though.
mean side by side. Not stacked.
That's awesome. So this is when the ever insightful Bob.
Yeah, Bob's been there
Dude, the
whole
reason.
time.
Okay, I figured out the reason why I want to call him Bako Bob.
Why?
Have you seen Barry?
The TV show on HBO?
Yeah.
Not yet, no.
Have you seen it?
I do want to.
There's No-Ho Hank.
No-Ho Hank.
Yeah, and I can't even explain the character
Bako
to you. You
Bob.
just have to watch it. Yeah, Bako
Can you
Bob.
explain what NoHo means?
North Hollywood.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I got it. I got it now. All right. So,
So
Huell...
he drops the bomb with the number of teeth. And this blows Huell's mind.
yeah.
And
So-
look how pleased Coral is. If you
Coral-
watch her face
Coral with
while,
K?
yeah, while he's describing the amount of teeth, she's
Oh,
just
that's
like
right. That's right.
so happy with the.
There's this whole scene when they get that tooth out of the case and Huell's like looking at it. There's 3 very different reactions. Bob is kind of like analyzing every word so he can get something out of him. Coral looks like the proudest mom at a graduation.
Definitely.
Coral with a K.
Ben is like, don't you drop that tooth. He is so like laser beam focused on it. Like,
I wouldn't be
oh.
surprised if his hands
Or
just
under
below the-
out of shot. Oh, Benny boy.
Did you think Huell was going to ask if he could take it?
Oh, didn't it seem like it when he pulls the shark tooth that
Yeah.
Bob gave him?
Look at this tiny one you gave me earlier.
And he's like, eh?
So
I almost don't want it.
Nice, real subtle Huell.
that's fun. Yeah, they all have different reactions. Weren't they referred to as the Buena Vista Trinity?
No,
No.
you're just saying nonsense now. Oh man.
Okay, anyway.
I mean, they are a very unique group of people. Did you get a screenshot of all three of them?
Yes.
Okay,
And their
perfect.
faces.
Perfect.
I mean, they look exactly like most geology professors I had.
So there's a type, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's nice to know.
Well, how would you describe that? Not in a negative way, but
it's hard.
Well,
You know it when you see it.
because I would say for economists, when you meet them, the joke goes that those are the people who didn't have personalities to become accountants,
Right.
and that's just it. That's an economist. So, or do geologists just are they like engineers types?
No, they are not.
Okay.
Man, it's been so long. When I was in school, I used to know all these things. School for you is a little more recent. I've been out for a little while now.
Yeah. True.
I don't know, but there's a lot of khaki going on. A lot
I see
of
where you're going. Okay.
you
That
know,
makes
like
more
there's a
sense.
look, and they all like you. I mean, you saw them. They look like geologists to me. Whether or not they're professional geologists,
You'll
like
know when you see one.
yeah.
I also think that it might like parallel with the amateur or professional archaeologist kind of look too.
Yeah, definitely.
Just people who are out in the dirt.
Yeah, your wardrobe is based a lot on function.
Yeah.
You've got some kind of brim on your hat because you're out in the sun, and you probably the material
cargo?
you're wearing can get dirty.
Something cargo. I just think of Bear Grylls. Is this wrong?
Yeah,
That's a
cargo.
look, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just functional. Okay.
So speaking of the hill, being out in the dirt, that's where we end it. I can't imagine that they drove all the way back out here, but Coral is here at the end.
Coral with the K. Yep.
Doesn't that make... Because I'm imagining they filmed this ending before they went to the museum. Does that mean that Coral was just hanging out the whole time off camera?
That's possible. Yeah. Or he goes, oh, or he says, darn, gotta head 15 miles east.
You're really stuck in this 15. You don't believe it's 15
I'll
miles.
lose 15, but it's okay.
It might be.
You think so?
Yeah. 10
As the crow flies?
No. Not as the crow flies.
As the crow drives.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Maybe Bob needed a ride back to the quarry.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
You think he lives out there?
Well, he just
I
looks-
don't know why I assumed it. Yeah, I assumed he lived down there.
I can imagine he looks down and he goes, what, you expect me to walk in these things?
So, often Huell knows what he's talking about, or at least knows enough. But right at the end there, did you notice that he said that he called the people who are out there archaeologists?
Yes.
I got a bone to pick with that. Archaeology is about humans. And Coral caught it, and you can almost see it in her face where
Coral
she's just
came.
like...
No, you didn't.
But she just brings it back really subtly, where she's like, oh, well, there's lots of paleontologists who come out here. Hits the P real hard on that.
Uh-huh.
Paleontology.
So is there a rivalry?
I don't
Or
think
is it just
so.
getting it correct? What do you think?
I don't think-
Rivalry is probably not the right word, but
I don't think there's any competition. I mean, think about the most famous archaeologist versus the most famous paleontologist.
Okay, paleontologist, Jurassic Park.
I didn't even think about that, so never mind. Whoops.
that's probably not.
I was
going to
say Ross from Friends because he was a paleontologist versus Indiana Jones. But
Oh, wow.
Also not
okay.
real. Okay, so
Yeah,
both
no,
of the
real. This was
the
not-
most famous in both of these fields are actors.
and don't represent their fields
the
very
guy,
well.
the Egyptian guy that does the pyramids.
Like the Tutankhamun?
King Tut.
What?
The reason they were built, or the
No. There is a famous. He was on.
the
History Channel.
archaeologist
What's his name?
He's the leader of the Museum of Egypt. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah,
I
so
would put
him.
him up there. Yeah,
For sure.
well known.
that's archaeology. Paleontology, maybe Richard Leakey if you're into that.
Okay.
Well, no, he bordered on archaeology too, but he did paleontology.
He's a crossover.
Yeah,
That's cool.
he flipped the wigs.
What?
I don't know. All right, so that's kind of the end of this episode. Huell wraps it up.
But he does. Did you notice how he wrapped it up? He caught himself.
It was the wording was weird. Something was off.
We got upgraded in the send off.
We as
Because
in
he said,
Kern County?
"This is one of Kern Counties."
Nay.
Pauses. You should have said nay, right? You didn't. You just let it kind of drift there for a little bit. And he said, "One of California's true treasures."
Absolutely.
So we got upgraded mid-sentence.
It's not. It's beyond California's gold. Even like we've already established Kern County. This is the Golden Empire. I mean, of course we're California's gold. True treasure.
Whoa, dude! The spirit
Wow.
of the Golden Empire.
Right? Did you like? Okay, so Kern County has been called the Golden Empire for as long
millennia.
Yeah. As long as there's been teeth on Sharktooth Hill. Do you guys get it? Do you know what that means?
No idea.
I've looked it up like 3 times. I always forget. I'll take it.
Golden
Empire.
Hills, maybe Golden. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
KGT 17.
Yeah,
That's
it's like the
thing.
tagline of one of our local news. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, KGT 17 News. Yeah.
Yeah, get on the Get Bus.
Get bus.
Golden Empire Transit.
That's right.
We treat your feet. Yeah, all those.
Well,
Shop and compare. We don't care.
Carpet Outlet Plus.
these are all the jingles. Okay, we gotta stop.
If you're from Bakersfield, you're loving this. If not, I'm sorry.
We're hating it.
Yeah. So, I guess that wraps it up. Mike, thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, also in keeping with the theme of the show, just to remind all your listeners, you can't just go out there and dig these things
that's
up.
true.
They bring it up
Yeah.
several times.
Can you also tell us what silt is?
It's just the size of dirt.
Okay, that's out there.
That's what we're ending on.
That's wild.
Yeah, I forgot that was the last thing that Coral mentions. Like, you can't just come out and do this. There's special times that the museum allows this to happen. Little side note, I forgot to tell this story. A guy I worked with, that I was cleaning pools with, he would break in all the time, every weekend, and found turtle shell, like fossilized turtle shells, hundreds of shark teeth. He was going to give me some, but then he like ripped his hand
Bob
open.
could find those in the morning.
Right. Oh man, this guy, he ripped his hand open, and I never saw him again. So I never got a tooth. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go back to what Bob says about those teeth. They're cutting. I'm gonna actually paraphrase it a little bit. They're cutting machines that could slice through bone, flesh, gristle. It makes no difference. Just so everyone knows. Taking your
Even gristle.
into your own hands.
Let's
Yeah.
end it on that. What better way? So, come along with us
Next week and every week, as we continue our search for
Huell's Gold.